Yeah. Let me take you to a place where the newer you have resided. Remove you from the flesh where the righteous always collided. I don't believe in culture, we steady being misguided to lead you back to a place where you only see us divided. I'm only here to tell you nothing but truth. I don't care about the good you do, I study your fruits. And I don't think I'm over you, but let me take this time to answer. Since I believe in God, I'm held to a higher standard. A soldier with holy manners in the spiritual army. We all need discernment, cause the evil spirit is charming. God with me when I step out. I don't care about what you care about. My faith got me flexing, I might just win me a sandout. Rebuke the strongholds, I pray you get released. Forget money, cars, and clothes. I need love, joy, and peace. Woke up with a new ID. Yes, I've been transformed, so the patterns of this world, I really can't be conformed. And I say,
I done had my ups and downs, but I can see we gaining ground. Yeah, things are looking better now. The world around me living fast, and I'm no longer like my past. Yeah, things are looking better now. I once was blind, but now I see. I thank you for my new ID, God, yeah. Things are looking better now. Don't wanna be the same, I can't be stuck if I ain't froze. I pray that I stay focused till I walk the streets of gold.
We all have a testimony, but the Bible let us know that you can plant the seed, but only God can make it grow. So you gotta reach a place where God say it's time to grow. So if you still lacking faith, who fault is that? You let me know. Self-control is what I pray for. Have you prayed for that? Nah, you ain't prayed for that, cause you ain't came for that. You go to God for only money, you won't stay for that. Somebody lukewarm, I just can't be the same as that. That's lame in fact. Lord have mercy, forgive me for sounding churchy. I just wanna break the link to the chain to whatever cursed me. I done had fam set up and killed for no good reason. We don't wrestle flesh and blood, they operated by demons. I don't play the same music, I don't watch the same movies. I ain't drinking, I ain't smoking, I'm not doing what y'all doing. And finding out my purpose became more than a blessing. And nothing here was by force, I just never found it impressive. Look,
I done had my ups and downs, but I can see we gaining ground. Yeah, things are looking better now. The world around me living fast, and I'm no longer like my past. Yeah, things are looking better now. I once was blind, but now I see. I thank you for my new ID, God, yeah. Things are looking better now. Don't wanna be the same, I can't be stuck if I ain't froze. I pray that I stay focused till I walk the streets of gold. Whoa.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ARP in the morning. Appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. I am your host, Wise. Thank you so much for pulling up and taking a little bit of time out of your day to hang out with us over here this morning. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed. My Ravens lost last night, and it was probably the worst game that, I'm not gonna say probably, it's gotta be the worst game that I've seen from them. Goodness gracious. The Lions, man. Shout out to the Lions fans and shout out to the Lions. They just pushed us around. Like we wasn't there, like we didn't exist. Goodness gracious. Oh, it was rough. It was rough, to say the least. But that's all right. We're going to get through it. We're going to be all right. I want to show some love to my folks in the chat before we get started. Thank you guys for pulling up this morning. What's going on, Zephyr K9? How you doing this morning on this fine Tuesday? Grace and peace to you. Y'all make sure y'all follow her instructions and hit that daggone like button. Yes. Thank you very much. What's up, Lori Addison? How you doing this morning? Grace and peace to you as well. You make sure y'all follow Lori Addison's instructions as well. And please remember to hit that like button on the way in. Thank you. What's up, Marla? Queen Chloe in the building. Shout out to you. And we got my guy Hunter in the building this morning. Let's see, what did he start us off with? Always comes through with the Bible verse to get things kicked off. Says, the Lord's act of mercy indeed do not end, for his compassion do not fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Lamentations chapter 3, verse 22 and 33. Thank you very much, man. What's up, Scott Young? How's it going? Y'all make sure y'all keep Soul Driver lifted up in prayer, man. He had an incident on his bike. Make sure y'all keep him lifted up, man. Slow recovery. And you know, as you get older and things of that nature, man, we just don't bounce back like we used to, right? Shout out to Pam Westcott, Jess Major. Appreciate you pulling up. What's up, Cam Patterson? Appreciate you pulling up. Aeon, appreciate you pulling up this morning. Annie Love, shout out to you. What's up, Hadassah? How you doing this morning, sister? Grace and peace to you. Shout out to Lynn J. Sun. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. And thank you for supporting the channel, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. What's up, Marcy Richards? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you. Angela Montgomery's back on the grind. All right, now I see you. All right, I know she was traveling yesterday. You said you had went down to North Carolina, right? I believe that was the case. What's up, Sandra? How you doing? Is it how do you pronounce that? Is that Sandra Winky? Schwinky? Let me give me the phonetics. What up, Luby Fishing? Appreciate you pulling up. Sugar Shane in the building. Appreciate you pulling up. We got Mark Galvin in the building. Cashville. What's going on? What's up, Omega? Grace and peace to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. We got David Harrell in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's up, Melissa? Aloha to you. We got Robert Dalton in the building. Deb Longo in the building. Appreciate you pulling up. LaDonna Shea. Appreciate you pulling up. Patty Hutchison in the house. Shout out to you. What up, Kenneth Moles? Christina, is it Darku? Hopefully I pronounced that properly. What up, Pamela Townsend? Appreciate you pulling up. Nicole H. Thank you. Got Torrance Robinson in the building. Shout out to you. Grace and peace to you, brother. What up, Mike S? Grand rising to you. Simonium Master. Appreciate you pulling up. Wyoming in the building. Okay. Salty Badlands. Montana in the building. Okay. That's what's up. What's up, JJ? How you doing this morning? What up, B? What's going on, sister? Got Ryan Stegall in the building. Covington, Georgia in the house. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Mark Munden in the building. Shout out to you. CND Smith. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Says I don't think she's capable of being humiliated. Yeah. What up, Tracy Atkins? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. What up, Mike C? Appreciate you pulling up. And Iraya Niwa. Appreciate you pulling up. Roy Knowles. Appreciate you pulling up. What up? What up? What up? What's up, Joan? How you doing? What's up, Kiwan? How you doing this morning, sister? Appreciate you. Leslie Aaron in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's up, Katrina? How you doing? What's going on, Latrice? How you doing? Appreciate you. Quincy James in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. And Patty Hutchison says, dope track. Yeah, that's pretty fire. That's Call Him D, Better Now. Dope track. He's got some really good music, man. If you guys are, still want to listen to some rap music with some good beats without all the foolishness, and someone, really uplifting the word, telling a good story, and praising the Lord, he is definitely somebody to check out. So we're gonna go ahead and get the show started, man. Hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. Like the stream, share the stream. If you are not subscribed to the channel, you should be subscribed to the channel. Thank you to all my ARP family members. If you would like to support the channel, that is a good way, joining the ARP family. Obviously, my ARP family folks, make sure y'all remember to use the member chat function. You have that ability to do. Use that if you would like. Those will get read. And, thank you guys very much for so very much for supporting the channel. If you'd like to go the extra mile, buy me a coffee. That link's in the description box below. And super chat, super thanks are greatly appreciated. Shout out to Mike C with the $5 super chat. Says, what's up with Henry throwing the tantrum on the sideline after the fumble? Go Lions. I thought the same thing. He's fumbled in every game this season. He lost 2 of them, but he's fumbled in every game this season thus far. I don't know what's up with that. What's going on? Eric Smith with the $5 super chat says, let's all pray God seals Crockett's lips shut until she's out of office. Thank you. Shout out to Kathleen, is a proud American patriot joining the ARP family. Thank you. Thank you, Kathleen. I appreciate you. God bless you. Appreciate you supporting what we're doing over here at ARP. Thank you very much. God bless you, sister. Shout out to Deb Longo with the $10 super chat. Says, thank you for what you do. You're a blessing to me. We need you in Maryland. I'm in Maryland. I'm in Maryland. I don't know for how long, but I am here and been here for a while. You know, this is basically home. I've been here since 2009. But I tell you, man, this daggone governor raising these taxes on us, man. He killing us. You know, killing us. He trying to anyway. What's up, Miss Katz? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. I am Bast. Appreciate you pulling up. Grand Rising to you as well. Appreciate you. Cameron Borden, what's going on? Lenham, appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's up, Jasmine? I don't know. I haven't seen a message from you, so I can't speak on that. All righty. But let's get the show started, man. Let's get the show started. Make sure this is right. Okay. Yeah.
We're seeing, Donald Trump being underwater, Democrats saying, oh, this guarantees us we're going to fly high in the midterms. Let me tell you, this guarantees you nothing, because at this particular point, the Democrats are the New Orleans Saints of political parties. What are we talking about? Trust the Dems or GOP more on the economy? Who leads on the economy? Republicans by 7. Immigration, Republicans by 13. How about crime, a big issue for Donald Trump and the Republicans? Look at that, lead by 22 points. So the bottom line is this. At this particular point, the ball may be on the ground, but the Democrats have not picked up the ball and running with it. If anything, at this particular point, it's the Republicans who are running with the ball on the top issues, the economy, immigration, and crime.
Give some context on this. Compare this when Republicans last took the House.
Yeah, let's compare it back to 2022. I think this kind of gives away the game right here, okay? The GOP is more trusted than the Dems on the economy. It was 12 points in 2022. Slight decline in that lead, but still 7 points. How about immigration? It was Republicans by 3 back in 2022. Look at this. The Republican lead's actually gone up by 10 points. What are you doing, Democrats? My goodness gracious. And on crime, the Republicans were up by 13, and now they're up by 22. The lead, again, expanding by nearly double digits. So whatever Democrats are doing, it ain't working, Kate. It ain't working. Republicans have the lead on all 3 issues.
What?
All righty. So, new CNN polls. Hey, Mike, see, you're absolutely right. The polling, the data, it don't lie. It don't lie. Democrats, they are panicking right now. And conservatives, a lot of them celebrate nationwide. This surprising survey gives Republicans a clear trust edge on key critical issues that, are keeping Americans awake at night. Crime, GOP's up 22. Immigration, it should be higher, but they're up 13. Economy, I understand why it's plus 7. The economy is not where we want it to be. I discussed this yesterday, but I have faith that we are going in the right direction, even with Trump's unpopularity factored out of this. From CNN, no less, a network that's long buried such numbers, are the polled. I think they polled mostly liberals, maybe, I would assume, but the polls are shaky, but the trend's loud. Democrats are stumbling hard. And Harriet, and he dubbed them the New Orleans Saints of politics. That's pretty bad. Fumbling the ball amid identity politics, quicksand, losing working class voters who crave results over lectures. The blue wave's a drip right now. It's a trickle right now. I mean, we may be, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess we may be, being somewhat nice by calling it a trickle. The red tide surging. It's surging when it comes to safety, prosperity, and sovereignty. Independents, they could seal the deal. Watch that shift closely because independents are leaning more towards the right now.
What's the reason that you are finding so far that's driving this?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's all about the center of the electorate, right? You win with independents, you win overall. And what do we see right here among independents? Republicans still have a point lead on the economy. They got a 10-point lead on immigration. They got a 21-point lead on crime. The bottom line is when you look at these numbers, Democrats should call their offices, because at this particular point, even if Republicans, or even if the public doesn't like what Donald Trump is doing, they ain't necessarily liking what Democrats are doing. And it ain't just a referendum on one party. You actually have to go out and beat that party. At this particular point, Democrats are not able to beat Republicans. They still
and again, this is.
Well, the thing too is that we haven't seen nor heard a solution from the Democrats. They got a bunch of complaints, and typically their complaint is orange man bad. That's it. Trump bad, orange man bad. That's it. That's pretty much all you get out of these people. So among independents, Republicans, hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. They lead, pretty much, by a point on the economy, 10 points on immigration, and 21 points when it comes to crime. I mean, the president is trying to do things to help, slow down the crime. And like he did out in D.C., pretty much eliminated the crime. And Democrats are pushing back and they're fighting. And the people are like, wait, the federal government wants to help put additional resources into the community, into some of the most dangerous communities in the country. And y'all don't want it. And y'all are complaining. Most of us are looking on the sidelines and we're like, what the heck is wrong with y'all? Even us in Maryland, we're looking like, wait, Baltimore City's crazy. Why are y'all turning down resources? Why are you turning down resources? It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. It doesn't get, I just don't get it. I mean, but those are some massive numbers, especially because elections are won or lost with the independents. What did I say? I might have messed up somewhere. But let me know, B. But I gotta say this, man. I don't understand why these folks are, just adamant, that hey, crime's okay, and we wanna keep it, Oh, okay. All right, cool. But I just don't understand why Democrats that's the sword that they want to fall on in reference to crime. I just don't get it. We know it's bad. That's what I don't get. Everybody knows it's not safe. When in Memphis, the mayor almost gets kidnapped and then has the nerve to come out there and say, hey, man, crime's getting better. Like, dude, they almost snatched you up and put you up for ransom. I mean, it's crazy. So even the people that are independents are like, man, these Democrats are out of their minds. Because the last I checked, there are a bunch of independents that live in a lot of these cities. There are a lot of people that would, quote unquote, consider themselves independent, even though historically they had voted Democrat. But, they're looking at this like, wait, hold up. I live in D.C., Baltimore, Memphis, St. Louis. I live there, and they said crime is great. Wait, huh? What? Man. You would think that when you have a situation where there's full-on broad daylight shootouts, that the mayor would get out there and say, hey, man, we'll take all the help and resources that we can get. We'll take it. We'll take it. But, hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But those are some massive numbers right there. Those are some massive numbers, especially coming from CNN, because typically CNN isn't in the business of, historically, they hadn't been in the business of showcasing numbers that would present the right in a positive light, right? They wouldn't do that. But those are massive numbers. Because everybody knows this is that, elections are won and lost with the independents, man. And if you can't win over the middle, you can't win overall. So what's the bottom line here? Right now, this isn't an election for Republicans to lose. They've got the momentum. They're leading on the major issues. They're leading on the top issues, and unless the economy takes a drastic nosedive or something shifts, in a big way, I just don't see Democrats having a clear path forward. Now, I say this to tell you guys, do not let up. Do not get complacent. Come 2026, Everybody needs to be out. We need to have the biggest turnout that we have had for a midterm election all across the country. We can't get complacent and think that, hey, President Trump's in office, he's going to fix all things. The current administration's in office, they're going to fix all things. No, we can't get complacent. We cannot get complacent. We have to continue to put the foot on their necks. We got to, or keep the foot on their neck, or feet on their neck. We got to. Don't get complacent. As we get closer and closer to 26, we're going to continue to have conversations about the midterms. We're going to talk about some of the key races that are happening around the country. And we have to make sure that we show up and show out. We got to turn out. That's been a lot of the issue, is that, and that's a lot of what happened the last time that the president was in office, is that folks was like, Trump's in, he's doing a great job, and people fell asleep at the wheel. People fell asleep at the wheel and was like, I don't need to go out there and vote, in the midterm. Nah, you have to get out there and you need to tell some folks. I will be bringing, my youngest son still lives with me. He is coming with me to the midterms. And we're going to have a conversation prior to about, okay, these are the candidates that we're supporting, and this is why. We have to have a great turnout come 2026, man. We can't get complacent. We can't. I keep telling you guys, hey, the battle just begun. We still in the thick of things, man. The battle just begun. Seriously. So that means that y'all, family members, friends, gotta get out and vote in this upcoming election. And you need to understand who's up. You need to understand who your local politicians are, your local delegates, your local Senate seats in your local area. You need to understand who those people are, what they're about. Same thing when it comes to the national level, your representative seats. If there's some Senate seats open in your area, you need to understand who they are and what these people are about. That's the truth, man. That is the truth. We cannot afford to get complacent, because Hakeem Jeffries said it. Hey, if we get power, we're coming after everybody. He said it. So yeah, we can't afford to just lay back and be complacent. We can't do it. Shout out to True Witty with the $2 super chat. Says Kirk's death still hit me. I started going back to church. Praise the Lord. That is awesome, man. Awesome. Hopefully you're not just going to church. Hopefully you're cracking open that Bible on your own. And if you need some assistance with that, shoot me an email, or I'm sure there's some really good people in here. I can point you in the right direction of someone that can help with your daily Bible study on your own. But it can't just be, I'm going to church. You're gonna make me go off on a tangent. It can't just be, I'm going to church on Sunday. It's gotta be a daily relationship with God. Okay. It's gotta be. I appreciate those that say, hey, I'm gonna go to church. And the reality of it is, the word says, hey, man, if 2 or 3 gather in my name, we're at church. So in all actuality, you don't necessarily need to go to a building. You just need to find 2 or 3 like-minded people that want to get in the word and dive in there with you. And if you're willing to if you can find that, hey, that's church right there. When 2 or 3 gather in my name, that's what he says, and God's not a liar. God's not a liar. So I do appreciate the fact that you are going to church, but I'm also going to challenge and take it a step further and say, hey, man, crack that Bible open on a day-to-day basis. I like that. Amy Elizabeth says she goes to Bible study online. That is awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome, man. And, hey, look at Carol where they say we have a church. No, somebody just dropped the super chat. I just wanted to make sure that, I gave some additional insight, some additional steps, and some encouragement, Mike C, I'm there with you. I actually really appreciate a good men's group. If I could find one to be a part of, man, that would be phenomenal. It would be phenomenal. True Witty with the $2 super chat says, no, I'm reading my Bible as well. Absolutely. Outstanding, man. Praise the Lord. Outstanding. I love it. Outstanding. Well, whatever we can do, or whatever I can do, to help in this journey, man, do not hesitate to reach out. Do not hesitate to reach out. We're here for you. We got to support each other, right? We got to support each other. Back to the topic at hand. I'll do that, Mike. And I have been doing that. But I just don't see the Democrats with a path forward, a clear path forward anyway. You know, they stand for everything that's wrong right now in our nation. You know, the numbers show that the GOP, you know, is in a strong position heading into the midterms while Democrats are stuck in a cycle of blame, complaints, and excuses. Blames, complaints, and excuses. And that's pretty much what we receive from them, right? That's it. But here's where things get even more interesting. That momentum's hitting the youngest voters hardest. I want you guys to see this, man. I want you guys to see this Fox News breakdown real fast. Check this out.
Now sat at 54%. Joining me now is Woke of the Week host Justine Brooke Murray. Justine, it is great to see you. Thank you for joining us. So red arrows across the board when it comes to young voters. Why? New data is reportedly showing warning signs for the Democratic Party as Gen Z seems to be shifting more towards the GOP than millennials. The Hill citing a report from Decision Desk HQ saying, quote, Democratic registration among young white men historically around 49% had fallen to 29%. The report also found modest losses among young non-white women. Roughly a decade ago, Democratic registration peaked at more than 80%. It is now at 75%. About 66% of young non-white men had usually registered Democratic, but the report noted Democratic voter registration now sat at 54%.
All righty. Yeah. So young people, this is a major warning sign for the Democrats, especially given that they've historically done well with the young people. But Gen Z, those digital natives, you know, that we've been told that are woke forever, is ditching the blue donkey in droves. I've covered it on this channel. There are so many people saying, hey, I am done with these Democrats. Done. Finito. You know, Democratic registration among young white men plummeted from a historic 49% to just 29%. That's a 20-point crater. Even among young non-white women, it has dipped from 80% a decade ago to 75% at this point. And young non-white men used to be 66% reliably Democratic. Now it's down to 54%. That's huge. And some of you guys may be asking, why is this happening? Hey, let's check out what Brooke Murray has to say here. You know, I think she nails it. Man.
Joining now is Woke of the Week host Justine Brooke Murray. Justine, it is great to see you. Thank you for joining us. So red arrows across the board when it comes to young voters. Why is this happening?
Yeah, well, first, thank you so much for having me. This week especially has been very radicalizing for young people, centrists, and people who have never even been involved in politics before because they saw a major leader of Gen Z assassinated simply because of his views. I was a member of College Republicans just 7 years ago, and there was about 10 guys and me, and we were in the basement of our language arts building. That's the only place where we were allowed to be. And so much has changed because it's been podcasters and people like Charlie Kirk, people who actually went to our campuses and realized that Gen Z, we want to be spoken to. We don't want to be yelled at. Our professors left us on campus. All they did was shout us down and shut us down. And for the first time, we actually felt like our voices were being heard. Charlie Kirk was speaking to people from across the aisle, people whom he disagreed with, and he was always very respectful. We're not seeing that from the left. The left all they do is demonize us, call us Nazis and fascists. They don't actually want to have a conversation with the people whom they claim they're trying to convert.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is it. That's it. And she's absolutely right. They do not want to have a conversation with the folks that they say they're trying to convert because you're not allowed to ask questions. You're not allowed to ask questions over there. If you start questioning, oh man, most of the people, they just snap off, start yelling and screaming and start calling you names. if you start questioning any part of their agenda. It's wild. This young lady, she was absolutely right. After Charlie's assassination, people are waking up fast. Seriously, especially young people, young black men, young white men, young black women. You're seeing it. Your typical, liberal, young liberal woman, hey, they're like, wait, hold up. I don't want to be a part of that. Anybody that would celebrate the demise of an individual, I want zero parts of it. I want no parts of it. People are waking up fast. Scroll through Blue Sky, and I'm not on Blue Sky like that. I every now and again I'll pop on there just to see the crazy, but scroll through Blue Sky, and you'll see leftists cheering, but that's not the America. That's not the pulse of America. Everyday Democrats, independent, regular people, they're horrified. No one wants a country where debates end in bullets. And Gen Z, they're not buying the campus groupthink anymore. They're not. They want purpose, not pity. And under Democrats, they've watched the economy crumble. They've watched borders collapse. They've got a chance to witness streets, become more and more unsafe, all while being lectured in the classroom by these, super woke, wicked professors. No wonder young men are leaving the left in droves, especially when college campuses have told them that they're toxic. Kirk's legacy didn't die with him. It honestly ignited a fire that I don't think that these people were prepared for. They didn't really understand what was going to happen. But that's no different than, that's no different than, what happened on Calvary. At that time, the devil thought he won, not realizing that I made a mistake, a grave mistake. In reference to Charlie, his style, the debate, the respect, the free speech, it gave Gen Z the space to think without fear. And that's something that's been missing on these college campuses. They get told what to think. They're not allowed to ask questions. They're not allowed to push back. They're not allowed to critically think about an idea, because if they do, man, the backlash is unreal. The backlash is unreal. I covered it. There was a young lady on the channel, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 days ago or so. And she was talking about it. Anytime she would ask questions, she would get yelled at. Anytime that she would ask questions, she would get yelled at. That's not a way. That's not a way to attract people to your party, to your side of things, to your way of thinking. When they start asking questions, you're like, shut up, don't ask questions. You're not allowed to do that. Those of us on this side of things, hey, we don't have a problem answering questions. Matter of fact, we want the questions. And we want to be able to educate you. And we want to be able to point you in a direction where you can receive more information. We want that. I get excited when people start asking me questions about what's going on the right, or maybe something historical that they've been lied to about. Because it gives me an opportunity to potentially enlighten someone and convert that individual. Maybe they don't become Republicans, but they at least become independents. At least. And that young man, he gave Gen Z the space to think without fear. And that's why Turning Point USA is exploding on campuses right now, and why youth voter registration is shifting red. And the left thought that they own the youth forever. That's what they thought. And, their game plan, it was pretty sound. Hey, we're going to infiltrate the public education system. We're going to infiltrate the colleges, and we are going to dominate the conversation there. That's what they've done. The left thought that they owned and would own the youth vote forever, but Gen Z is pragmatic, they're online savvy, and they're tired of the hypocrisy. They're tired of the hypocrisy. And if Republicans deliver, this generation could be theirs for decades if they deliver. And I think that the president is on his way to delivering. I think so. When you think about the amount of investment that has already been promised to our nation, we just hadn't seen the manifestation of that yet, but it's coming. And I know things are a little shaky right now. Unemployment, at 4.5%. When you think about Black people, unemployment's at 7.5%. A few others, Hispanics, I believe they're at like 5.5 or 6%. It's not where we want it to be. It's not where we want it to be. But some of that has to do with the fact that the previous administration lied about 2 million jobs that they said that were created. Some of that is there. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that we got to dig ourselves out of the hole that they put us in. These people, 4 years, destroyed the nation. Did everything that they could to destroy our country. So if anybody thought that it was going to be a finger snap and things would just, automatically be perfect, come on, man. All righty. Couple super chats to read. Thank you, Laura Robinson, with the $5 super chat. Says, can anyone help me connect with the Bible study online? Oh, that is awesome. Somebody please connect her with Crystal Beyond Labels Bible study that she does. Connect her. Shout out to, is it Dion to Reyes? Hopefully, or is it Dione? Thank you for the $5 super sticker. And thank you, Queen Chloe, for the $5 super sticker. Says, I'm with Lori. Can someone send an online link for a reputable Bible study? Look at that. That is phenomenal. Because somebody put the link in there for Crystal Beyond Labels Bible study. I believe she does it. I'm not exactly sure how many days, but if not, shoot me an email. My email is in the description box there, and I can connect you with her. And I can connect you with her, but I believe she does. I don't know if it's a daily, but I believe she does do a Bible study at least once, maybe twice a week. That is awesome, man. You guys, sheesh. You guys are something else, man. Seriously. You guys are something else. And my wife brought me down. I got my 10 coffee, I wanted to get another cup of coffee real quick, and she didn't make it, but she brought everything down here to make it. But so we're gonna pause for a quick second, but I'll raps with y'all, for a little bit while I make my coffee real quick. Deb, it's Crystal from Crystal Beyond Labels. She does it, and I can't remember if it's on the proper days, and she's not on here right now. Normally she is. She'll pop in from time to time. But what I'll do is shoot me an email, and I'll gather that information. I will have it for tomorrow for sure, for tomorrow's show for sure. A little bit of almond milk creamer, just a little bit. And yeah, this is awesome, man. You guys are blessing me just by, the want. And now maybe that's something that we can add, to what we're doing over here. We won't do it online, but I can get with some folks and we can create. If we can't find one, we can create one. It sounds like we got enough people. Like I said, if we can get 2 to 3 people to touch and agree, we're right where we need to be at, right? All right. Yeah. Crystal Beyond Labels said Monday through Thursday, 7:30. Is that 7:30 a.m. or 7:30 p.m.? Seabergy, if you could answer that for me, that would be awesome. But that is something that we could incorporate on this side of things. We do it offline. We wouldn't, I wouldn't, try to make it an online thing. but I can. We could do it Zoom or something along those lines. And when I say offline, I mean like not live and recorded. I don't think that's something that we need to do, in that manner. But that is definitely something that we could coordinate. Maybe I'll put a poll out tomorrow to see if that's something that you guys would be interested in. I'll find somebody to lead it for us, because it would be phenomenal. Oh, you said it was PM? Thank you, Seabergy. Okay, that's what's up. Thank you, Jeanette, with the $5 super chat. Says, I have a Bible study tonight, and we are going through women of the Bible. Okay, awesome. Praise the Lord. Chester said he'd like a men's Bible group. I like the idea of that too, as well. I definitely like the idea of a men's, because we kind of have a need to have conversations to discuss different things. Steve said, hey, Wise, I got a K-cup coffee maker, and I buy mushroom coffee in K-cups a lot easier. Well, we have a K-cup as well. I normally just, we use that. I just use it for the hot water because it's just easier to get hot water, per cup. And that's normally what I do. And then, I'll just, scoop my, scoop it in there, in that manner. It's a lot more affordable than those K-cups and better for the environment. Those K-cups, man, all that plastic, it's just not good. Thank you, Amethyst Angel, with the $2 super chat. Okay. I have to look into that one as well. That is awesome, man. You guys are blessing me, and you guys are blessing others this morning, man. You guys are phenomenal. If you could, Seabergy or one of my mods, if you could, in the chat, put a link to, if you haven't done so already, and if you could do it again, put a link to Crystal Beyond Labels channel in here as well. If you could do that for me, that would be phenomenal. Yeah. Hey, Eric, I'm big on that. And that's a lot of reason why we stopped with the K-cups, because of the plastic, right? Every time you use one of those things, it's just so much plastic and stuff, and the microplastics and stuff. So, and then I got off of coffee, like regular coffee, and I got onto this mushroom coffee, and it's so much better for you. So much better. But yeah, that is awesome, man. You guys are awesome, man. You guys are awesome. I don't like hazelnut. Nothing. Yes. You could just throw the link in there. If you can copy the link and then paste it in the chat, Seaberger, that would be great. Or if we can get one of the mods to do so as well, that would be awesome. And I'd be remiss if I didn't discuss this morning and talk about our sponsor for the show this morning, which is Chapter Medicare. Chapter, they compare every Medicare plan. Reach out to them, 504-508-0860. If you yourself or a loved one, a family member, or someone you know is on Medicare or going to be on Medicare in the near future, these folks will help you find the right plan for the city, state that you're in. They will help you find the right plan. They've been known to save folks on average about $1,000 a year in healthcare premiums. They are phenomenal, and it's free. It doesn't cost you $1 to reach out to these folks and have a conversation with them. It doesn't cost you anything. They do it for free. One of the founders of this organization, their parents got ripped off by one of these companies that, they didn't look out for their parents' best interest. They looked out for their own. And they decided to do something about it. They decided to be the change that they want to see in the world. And they started this organization to help senior citizens keep from getting scammed, or those that are just getting in to Medicare, help them to keep from getting scammed. So reach out to them, 504-506-0860. Check out Chapter today. Reach out to them. Like I said, it's free. Doesn't cost you $1. Reach out to them today. Thank you. That's my show sponsor today. We're moving up a little bit. We're moving on up in the world. We have show sponsors, man. That is awesome. We're moving up in the world. All right. Amethyst Angel says, wise disciple, YouTube and Patreon, and every word, YouTube. Okay. I'm gonna have to check them out. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Tracy Atkins said, mushroom coffee. It's good. You would be surprised. I'm telling you, it's delicious. Eric tried it. It's good. I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm telling you, it will make the coffee, man. It was messing with my stomach. It was giving me, if you guys know, because it's so acidic, it was really messing with my stomach, man. And I was like, I gotta try something different. I like something warm in the morning. But that coffee, man, it wasn't doing me well. It is, I mean, it's good. I'm telling you, hey, that's free promotion, for MaxFit, free promotion. No, Malachi, I just use the Keurig for the hot water, so I just, instead of, there's no cup or anything, you just need hot water, and then it's almost like instant, Tracy says she's not that brave. Give it a shot. Try it out. Try it one time. Yeah, but let's move on. Let's move on with the show, man. So you got some folks out there just doubling down and refusing to change out there on that Democrat Party side of things, man. Yeah, Aeon, mushroom coffee is a whole lot less acidic. A whole lot. It's really good. It's really good. But the double down and the refusing to change that we see from the Democrat Party is exactly why they are hemorrhaging support, especially on immigration. Especially on immigration. We know this. That CNN poll, it gave the GOP a 13% or 13 plus 13 trust lead. And, we got to talk about it because here's a gut-wrenching example from Maryland, right here, my state. A grieving mother is left responding after Representative Jasmine Crockett dismisses her daughter's brutal killing at the hands of an illegal immigrant as just a random dead person. Yeah, she said that. She said that. I mean, this isn't abstract policy talk. It's a family's nightmare turned into political fodder. And I mean, it's the kind of tone deafness that's torching the left's credibility with everyday, regular Americans who just want safer streets. This lady is despicable, man. She is a despicable human being, to say the least. She really is. But I'm a firm believer, if you let people talk long enough, they will show you exactly who they are.
And then you exploit what has happened to not only that person, but you exploit those families and you make it a game. Stop just throwing a random dead person's name on something for your own political expediency.
Joining me now is Jeff Gaylor, the sheriff.
Well, this lady is something else, man. This lady is something else. This lady is something else, man. Ilhan Omar once said, some people did something after 9/11. That's what Ilhan Omar said. And now Jasmine Crockett caused a child killed by an illegal immigrant, a random dead person. That's someone's daughter. Something is deeply wrong with these people. I mean, the left claims moral superiority, but when it comes to real victims, their empathy vanishes. Back in 2022, a 20-year-old Kayla Hamilton, she was raped and strangled by an MS-13 gang member, an illegal immigrant with a criminal record in El Salvador who slipped through because of weak vetting. This month, the Republicans introduced the Kayla Hamilton Act to fix those loopholes. Gang tattoo checks, background searches, and vetting sponsors to prevent kids from ending up with traffickers. I mean, this is common sense. Common sense. But Crockett trashed the bill, accusing Republicans of exploiting victims. I mean, this is the same person who's compared ICE to slave patrols while downplaying migrant crime and ignoring victims like Kayla and Rachel Morin and what's her name? Dakara Thomas, who was just killed here in Maryland, dumped off the side of a bridge off Route 50 in Annapolis. They just downplay it. Kayla, Rachel, Dakara, all killed by illegal immigrants right here in the state of Maryland. Rachel and Kayla was killed in the same county. I mean, it's disturbing, and the voters, they're noticing. And now I want you guys to hear Kayla's mom's response here. I want you guys to listen to this lady.
In the Maryland County where Kayla was killed, and Kayla Hamilton's mother, Tammy Nobles. Thank you both so much for joining us. Tammy, what was your reaction when you heard the Congresswoman describe your daughter like this?
I was really furious because you just don't call a victim of a crime just a random dead person. No victim should be referred as a random dead person. Nope. We were there. I mean, they were there discussing her bill, and she and what she said was really nasty, and it came across as racist.
I would be livid. I'm not going to lie to you. I'd be livid. You know, I know we're supposed to forgive, but I would be livid if someone said something like that, you know, about a loved one that was taken in the way that she was taken. You know, imagine if someone called George Floyd just a random dead person. Imagine that. That's exactly the insult Jasmine Crockett hurled at Kayla Hamilton's memory. Tammy Nobles isn't just speaking as a grieving mom. She's voicing every parent who's had to bury a child while politicians just shrug, calling it nasty and racist. And, you know, in my opinion, I think that's putting it lightly. I mean, Kayla wasn't random. She was 20 years old with a whole life ahead of her. She was killed by an MS-13 member who should have never been in our country in the first daggone place. I mean, this dude had a arrest from 2020 out in El Salvador, but yet he still slipped through the cracks here because Democrats refused to secure the border. 4 years. 4 years. No solutions, just the same tired script. Trump bad, Republicans racist. Let any and everybody just flow through our southern border. That's not policy. That's not policy, man. That's erasing humanity to protect failure. I mean, the voters see it. And as the saying goes, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Well, maybe it's time Democrats tried common sense for once in their lives. I mean, this is ridiculous.
It is the House was debating the bill that you said, the Kayla Hamilton Act, when the Congresswoman made these comments. So tell us about that act, and maybe we could use this moment to promote it as opposed to what she was hoping to do with what she was saying.
Yes. So the Kayla Hamilton Act is they will check, do an extra check for any UAC that comes across the border from 12 to 17, see if they have any gang tattoos. They already get medical checks as it is, and all they're doing is just looking, you know, real quick to see if they have any gang-related tattoos. And also they will be required to do a background check in their country that they came from, because her murderer, he did have a criminal record in El Salvador in 2020 for illicit gang activity, and they did not check his background in El Salvador. They just checked his background in the United States and said that he had no crime. Well, of course not. He hasn't even been here yet. And also it will check the sponsors that they are giving these children to. Mm-hmm. They will check for their legal status, social security numbers, addresses, do full background checks on their sponsors, so we know who they're giving these children to. Not only we are protecting, our citizens, but we're also protecting the children against any, gang activity or any individual who's going to be caring for them.
Understood.
It's very important to protect the children.
To make sure that what happened to your daughter doesn't happen to anybody else. And it did just pass the House Judiciary Committee, so that's a good first step.
Oh, man. Honestly, man, it should be a no-brainer. For this to pass, it should be a no-brainer. Should be. But, man, again, I'm a firm believer that, hey, you let people talk long enough, they'll show you exactly who they are. How do you hear that? How do you hear that and not, just scream or yell out, hey, just go ahead and pass the bill, man. Pass it now. The Kayla Hamilton Act is so basic, it's almost embarrassing. It's not already law, to be honest with you. It's so basic. Check for gang tattoos during the medical exams that unaccompanied minors already get. Run a background check in their home country, which would have caught Kayla's killer for his MS-13 ties in El Salvador. Vet sponsors with real scrutiny. Social security numbers, legal status, and addresses. So kids aren't just handed to traffickers or predators. This isn't a gotcha for the Democrats, man. It's a lifeline to stop the next Kayla, the next Rachel Morin, the next Dakara Thomas. Come on, man. How in God's name are Democrats like Crockett against this? How? Are they so blinded by their open border dogma that they'd rather let gang members slip through than admit the system is broken? Hundreds of thousands of minors crossed our southern border since 2021, many released to unverified sponsors, some vanishing into trafficking or worse. Yet Crockett calls it a game. The previous administration lost upwards of 300,000 children. Lost. Don't know where they are. This is why that CNN poll has the GOP crushing it on immigration. Voters see right through the left's sanctimonious wordplay. They see right through it. She should be ashamed of herself, but, she has zero shame, bro. Zero shame. You know it, I know it. But who's her advisors to tell her, like, hey, you probably shouldn't be out here talking like that. LS, you are absolutely right. So they mad at being called vermin when you have a whole congressional representative calling a murder victim a random dead person. Yes. These people are wicked. They're wicked. No shame, none. And she yelled that loud and proud. No shame. Seabergy said, you're right, Seabergy. You're right. You got to have a heart to have shame. You're absolutely right. And she obviously has no heart. Zephyr said, "Wicked is too kind." Yeah, maybe. Oh my goodness, man. Thank you, Ron Baker, for joining the ARP family. Thank you very much for supporting what we're doing over here, man. God bless you. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you very much. Shout out to Christina Mangrum. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that properly. With the $10 super chat, says she says, "I am a part of Crystal Beyond Labels." She has Bible studies, YouTube, same handle. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Great study, great group. She may be on TT in the next, TikTok. Okay. TikTok in the next hour. Hit me up with further questions. Thank you, Christina. I appreciate that. And thank you for the insight. Y'all hit Christina up if y'all have any additional questions. We'll have to reach out. I'm going to have to reach out to Crystal. I'll have some information for you guys for sure tomorrow, or I'll have Crystal just pop on. Actually, I think that might be the better route. We'll have Crystal pop on for a quick second tomorrow, and she can discuss it. And, you know, any of you all that would be interested in joining, you'll have the opportunity to gather all the information, detailed resources to be able to make that happen. So, yeah, that is awesome. And thank you. Thank you, Christina. Appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, the Bible is very clear there. Very clear. Well, I mean, if we follow the final two or the two commandments that, you know, Jesus gave, if we did those two things, which pretty much encompasses the 10 commandments, if we did that, I mean, this world would be such a better place. It would. It would. Brett Montgomery, you a trip. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. Thank you, Amy. Yes. Love one another as you would love yourself. If we did that right there, hey, we would be so much better. We would be so much better. Yeah. And that's on the record, just so y'all know. That's on the record. That is on the record for Jasmine Crockett to come out there and say that she just called a woman that was killed by an illegal immigrant a random dead person. She should be ashamed of herself. I'm sure she isn't. She doesn't have any shame. She'll go on to CNN, MSDNC, or one of these networks, and they won't push on her on it. They won't call her out for it. They won't call her out for it. Yeah. Yeah, Don, Deb, you definitely will not see an apology from that lady. You will not. All right, Angela, take care. Let's keep going. And last but not least, today, I want to shift gears to a story that hopefully will restore a bit of your faith in humanity. Because while Democrats like Crockett are out there, you know, being very busy dismissing victims and dodging accountability, there are some young Americans out there showing what real courage and character looks like. I want you guys to meet a young man by the name of Larry Pickett Jr., a 20-year-old West Point cadet and Army Black Knights football player who risked his life earlier this month to save a man from a burning car in upstate New York. I'm going to roll the clip here. I got to roll this clip, you know, of Larry Jr. himself breaking down what happened. If you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button for me. I have to incorporate some positive stories into what we're doing over here. No different than yesterday's story with the young lady and the police officer who, you know, just broke down in his arms because she was going through something. And I know we talk about, a lot of the wicked stuff, a lot of the crazy things that we hear from the left, but I got to make sure that I do my part and showcase and let it be known that, hey, there's some love out here and there's a lot of good people out here doing really good things. There's a lot of good people out here doing positive things and doing good work out here, man. So we got to make sure that we continue to showcase it. All right.
No, Larry! Come on! Come on, get him out! That's it!
Wow. A terrifying scene unfolding over the holiday weekend in New York State when a 20-year-old West Point athlete risked his life to save a driver in a car accident just minutes before that car caught fire. Joining me now is that heroic young man, Larry Pickett Jr., and his father, Larry Pickett Sr., who was there to see his brave son leap into action. A pleasure to have both of you here. Larry Jr., walk us through what happened.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for having us. My family had came up for the game on Friday night. We found ourselves in the city during the day on Saturday. Coming back from the city Saturday night, we came upon a down power line. We stopped. We looked to the side and saw that there was a car that had crashed. So my father and I both got out of the car, ran towards that car, saw that there was a gentleman who had needed help. We got the gentleman out of the car and got him to safety.
Larry Jr., do you know why that driver could not get out by himself?
I'm not exactly sure, sir, but we did notice that he was in need of help, so we helped him to safety.
We got to continue to highlight these types of stories, man. We got to. That's the voice of a hero right there. Steady, humble, no ego about it. Larry Jr., hey, he didn't brag, about running towards a car, sparking with live wires to save a stranger. Some of these folks, they just pull their phone out like, oh my gosh, look, there's a car crashed and there's power lines. They just pull the phones down for like, views and shares, right? He didn't do that, man. He jumped in and stepped into He jumped into action. I love it, man. And he just says, hey, we saw there was a gentleman who needed help and we got him to safety. That's courage, that's duty, and honor in action. This isn't just, one moment though. I mean, it's the product of being raised right with faith, with values. You see his father was right there with him. His parents had come up to see him play. He plays for the Black Knights. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I appreciate this young man. I'm not a fan of Army football. Go Navy. But I appreciate this young man and his father. But that right there just goes to show you, one, that fathers matter, families matter, and these are the products that come from those types of nuclear families. It matters. This is the product of being raised right with family and values that say, yes, you can step up when someone's in trouble. And in a world full of excuses and empty words, Larry Jr. runs straight into the fire. Now let's hear more about who this young man is and why his dad's pride speaks volumes.
Amazing. Larry Sr., what's going through your mind as you're watching your son?
Well, of course, I guess like any parent, you have the live power lines there and the fire and the sparks, and you hear everything around you. The tires are starting to pop. So it's just the danger, but just knowing that that's just who he is and what he does, and he went right into action.
Yeah, Larry Sr., has your son always had this desire to help others?
He has. Ever since he was a little boy, he's been just someone who loves to help. It doesn't matter if it was helping people, animals. I can remember back right before we were dropping him off to West Point, there was an incident where there was somebody shoplifting at a local store. And my wife and I are in the car waiting for him to come out, and we see him running the opposite direction. And we're like, what's going on? And we jump in the car, follow behind him, to see him running down a dark alley at night, chasing down a shoplifter and making them go back and bring the items back in the store. We were like, LJ, you don't know what he could have had on him. You don't know his intentions. He just like springs into action. I remember him saving baby squirrels, turtles. He's just that type of kid. So no, not surprised at all.
Unbelievable. West Point posting on Facebook, quote, USMA is proud of the heroic actions taken Saturday night by Cadet Larry Pickett Jr. Running toward danger to save lives is the embodiment of the Army values and warrior ethos. Larry Jr.
Hey, a lot of respect for this young man. A lot of respect for this young man. That's how real men are made. America's starving for heroes like Larry Jr. You know, not hashtag activists. I mean, picture it. A young man sprinting into danger without hesitation, saving lives because his duty and faith demands it. I mean, his dad's pride says it all, right? You know, you could see it. The look on his father's face says it all, man. You know, Larry Jr. doesn't just, talk about values. His brother is living them, and that faith matters. When Larry Sr. thanks Jesus, that a man lived to see another day, you see the root of it all. That is what happens when kids are raised with a moral compass bigger than themselves. For young black men especially, Larry Jr. shatters a lot of those stereotypes, proving that you can be strong, fearless, and compassionate all at once. This isn't just a rescue story. This is a blueprint for a generation tired of waiting around. Courage doesn't need applause. It needs a good heart that says, go. That's it. This is an example of the products made in a nuclear family. This is an example. We need more of it. We need more of it. I don't know how we can incentivize men, because my challenge is to the men. I mean, we talk about the women and the out of wedlock kids, but my challenge is to the men. We got to step up. We got to step up. So many men, regardless of, how much melanin you have, black, white, a lot of men in our country have decided, hey, we're going to step back. Too many of us have decided to step back and not take our rightful place as leaderships in our homes, in our communities, in our counties, cities, and states. I'm challenging men to step up and be the leaders that you are supposed to be. Now, being a leader doesn't necessarily mean being a tyrant. People got to understand that leadership requires service. The best leaders are those who serve the people that follow them. So many people feel like, hey, I'm a leader and I make the choices. I'm the boss and I'm making all the decisions. Nah, your job is to serve. And the sooner you realize that, the better you will be. You can't be the leader of your household and not serve your wife, not serve your children. That is your job. That is your responsibility. Not only do we need to teach young men what it means to be a leader, what it means to be a man, we need to teach them. And we need to allow them to, we need them to understand with that responsibility, with that title comes great responsibility. Well, if you can serve, the compassion is there because it takes compassion to serve. It takes compassion to serve, but I do agree with you there. We have entirely too many men out there, creating children and they're running away. There are entirely too many children out there. And this is across demographics in our country right now. We have a single parent, a single mother epidemic in our nation right now that needs to change. It needs to change. It has to change if we want our nation to be as strong as it once was. It has to change. I mean, I know we look at the Black community and we talk about the out of wedlock births, but it's happening in every community except for the Indian American community. They don't do that. They don't do that. But every other community out there, Black, white, Hispanic, we're seeing it. We're seeing it, and it's got to change. It's got to change, man. But I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Papa Dad said there's a difference between men and a man. Yeah. Well, I would say, I'm gonna go a step further and say, hey, we have a lot of adult males. We're struggling in the man department, though. We have a lot of adult males, but we're struggling in the man department. What's up, TA? Just because you are an adult male, it doesn't make you a man. It doesn't. There's a lot of adult males out there that are suffering from what you would call arrested development. We could say the same thing about women, but I'm talking to the men right now. Yeah, we got a lot of adult boys out there. A lot of them. And that needs to change. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that a lot of these adult boys were not raised by strong men. So because the reality of it is, it takes granddad and dad. It takes granddad and dad and uncles to help build the confidence of young men. It's necessary. It is necessary. We have entirely too many people that are suffering from arrested development. Their development stopped around 16, 17. Why do you think you see all these grown men, 40 years old, still walking around with their pants, with their whole butt cheeks out? It's just like, bro, pull your pants up, man. You're an adult. Stop it. My youngest son, he tries to act like I'm like, nah, bro, pull your pants up. We're not going to do that here. Yeah, throw a belt around that waist. And if you don't have a belt, get a shoestring. We could solve a lot of our issues in this nation, man, if we really took the nuclear family serious. If we all said, you know what, no more of these children out of wedlock, and that's the men and the women. But, I'm going to say it starts with us, as the men, to say, nah, we're not going to do that. I'm looking for a wife, and that woman is the woman that I'm going to have my children with, and we're going to build together. We would solve a lot of our issues. You get married and you start to build that nuclear family, you only have a 4% chance of being in poverty. Four 4% chance of living in poverty if you make that decision. Now, I'm not saying for you to make that decision willy-nilly. And I do think that your family should play a role in that. Mom, dad, I think they should play a role in that because, when you get married, when you marry an individual, not only do you marry that person, but you also marry into the family. We've forgotten that. We've gotten away from that. And I think that's something that needs to change. We need to stop living as these quote unquote separate individuals, not knowing that and not understanding that, this is a family. And everybody needs to agree on this situation because this is a big step. You can love the woman, but if her family isn't about a whole lot, those are the people that are going to be your children's aunts, uncles, grandmas, and granddads. What type of example are they going to lend to your children? You need to understand that. It's extremely important. And my challenge is on the men. I know a lot of folks, they'll say, the women. Yeah, the women do have there's a lot of control on that side of things, but my challenge is to the men, because if the men decide, hey, I'm not doing this, you'll do everything in your power to make sure that you don't do it. That is the truth. Life is about choices. But I appreciate you all pulling up this morning. I want to make sure I didn't miss any of the super chats here. Oh, okay. Yeah, we got a couple super chats I need to read real fast. All right. Shout out to my guy Jeff with the Jeff from It's Not Your Fault Al-Anon Recovery Channel. $11 super chat says, future Army officer, obviously inspired by U.S. Navy enlisted sailor somewhere. Bravo Zulu young man. Yeah, absolutely, Jeff. Shout out to Queen Bee's Art Hive. Thank you for pulling up. It's good to see you this morning. Says, I personally believe Charlie is one of God's martyrs. Spoke of in Revelation, and Erica, the Esther prophecy. I love the chat, mods, and UIs. Thank you. Y'all really are my fam. Stay safe and love one another. Thank you very much. Shakir Aloysius, do not come down here acting a fool. Don't do that. Goodness gracious. Shout out to my guy Jeff with the $11 super chat. Says, evidence of a dad in the home, not just a product of being conceived and full with the thingamajig, can be a father. Okay. But only a real man can be a real dad. I agree with that, Jeff. Thank you very much for the $11 super chat. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all hear my dog Shakir. He comes down here. You know, he got to go outside, but he's taking him out. He comes down here, stand right next to me, bark, and then look at me. Like, you gonna take me out? Yeah, my dog's name is Sir Shakir Aloysius. Shakir, not Shaquille Carroll. Shakir, Shakir, Aloysius. Oh, yeah. That's my guy. That's my third son right there. You know, just so y'all know. And he's the most spoiled one out of the bunch. Oh my goodness. We're going to get out of here, man. I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. Lord willing, we will be at this thing tomorrow. Yes, that is the dog that I pulled up into the live stream maybe last week or week before last. And I didn't pull him up. He demanded that I pick him up. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that daggone dog. He's spoiled rotten. He is spoiled rotten. Goodness gracious. He gets his way. And a lot of it has to do with my wife, man. She done spoiled him up. Spoiled him up. Goodness gracious. He's ridiculous. But that's my guy. We love him. We love him. But I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys so much for pulling up. Shout out to all my blues, Brett Montgomery, B, Lori Addison, Zephyr K9, who else? T.A. Caskey. I'm missing somebody. I think I'm missing somebody. I know LJ wasn't here, but shout out to her. I know she's on the cruise right now. Thank you. Queen Bee's Art Hive, thank you as well for pulling up. It's good to see you this morning. Shout out to all my ARP family members. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate you all supporting the channel, supporting what we're doing over here at ARP. I appreciate you guys. And thank you to everyone that supported the channel this morning financially through Super Chat, Super Thanks, and those that joined the ARP family this morning. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys. Somebody had a question. Oh, Papa Di said, I ain't sure about that name. His name is Shakir Aloysius. That's his name. And the thing is, we had two cats. And so the names kind of were in line with the cats. So we had two cats. They were twins, Sheba and Shiloh. And then we got the dog, our Pity. And, his name just was right in line with everybody else. So we had Sheba, Shiloh, and then, he came in and Shakir. And we call him Kier for short. And he knows that. He knows his name for sure. He knows his name for sure. But, yeah, but thank you guys, man. I appreciate you all, man. Hey, y'all enjoy today. Do not take today for granted. in Joy. Enjoy it. Eric said, why the Aloysius? To be honest with you, I'm not really sure. It just sounds good off the tongue, right? Shakir Aloysius. It just, I initially named him Shakir. And then, while he was young, I don't know what he did. And I ended up calling him and I was like, Shakir Aloysius. And before you know it, it just stuck. So we're like, hey, he's Shakir Aloysius. It just flows off the tongue. I'm telling you, Shakir Aloysius. And when he goes to the vet, people love it. They love it. Normally you go to vet visit, they have the name, up there already. So people are like, who is this dog, Shakir Aloysius? And he's got tons of personality. I promise you that much. So the name fits. Oh my goodness. The name fits. It fits him. But he's really, really chill until, he wants a treat or he needs to go outside. Outside of that, he's pretty chill. He's pretty chill. But appreciate you guys, man. Enjoy the day. Do not take today for granted. Do not, take today and enjoy it for what it is. I know for me, I try to take it, one day at a time. And, we go over there, man, and just praise the Lord, for the day that he's given us today. And we'll focus on tomorrow. So, as always, keep God first, stay prayed up. We will catch up with you all tomorrow, Lord willing, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning, man. God bless you guys, man. Enjoy the day. You guys take care, man. Peace.
We won't stop. I won't quit. Stand for the truth. No counterfeit. Real ones rise. Let the fake ones split. Repent for the lies. Let the darkness live.